Yeah, let me talk to you directly, Manto Man. In today's dating world, everything feels loud. Everyone is trying to impress, explain, perform, or prove something. And most men are losing attraction not because they lack value, but because they leak it. They talk too much, react too fast, chase validation, and hand over their power without realizing it. Attraction is not built through tricks or lines. It's built through habits, quiet ones, daily ones, the kind that shape how you move, how you speak, how you handle pressure, and how you show up when no one is watching. Women don't respond to noise. They respond to presence. They respond to a man who is steady, grounded, and emotionally unshaken. Stoicism understood this long before dating apps, social media, and modern confusion. A Stoic man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't rush connection. He doesn't collapse under uncertainty. He stands firm in himself. That firmness is rare. Now, and rarity creates attraction. This video is not here to turn you into someone else. It's here to strip away what weakens your appeal. The habits you're about to hear are not flashy. They don't require pretending or performing. They require discipline, awareness, and restraint. When practiced consistently, they change how women feel around you without you forcing anything. Men who master these habits don't chase chemistry. They create it by how they live, by how they listen, by how they remain calm when others lose control, by how they value their time and energy. You'll notice something important as you listen. None of this asks you to dominate, manipulate, or impress. It asks you to sharpen yourself. Women are drawn to men who are internally ordered. A man who can regulate his emotions, move with intention, and stay solid under pressure naturally stands out in a world full of impulsive behavior. These habits don't make you louder, they make you undeniable. Stay with me through each one. Let them sink in. Apply them quietly and watch how your presence alone starts doing the work for you. 1. Controlled silence. Most men talk themselves out of attraction. They explain too much. They fill every pause. They rush to respond because silence makes them uncomfortable. Controlled silence is one of the most powerful habits you can develop, and it immediately changes how women experience you. Silence signals self-control. A man who is comfortable not speaking is a man who is comfortable with himself. When you pause before responding, you show that your words are chosen, not reactive. Women feel that difference instantly. It creates curiosity. It creates space. It makes your presence heavier. In conversation, you don't need to entertain or impress. Let moments breathe. When she finishes a thought, take a second before replying. Hold eye contact. Let her feel that you're fully present, not scrambling for the next line. That pause communicates confidence far louder than clever words ever could. Controlled silence also protects your emotional power. When you speak less, you reveal less. You don't hand out your insecurities, your intentions, or your approval too early. Many men overshare because they want connection fast. That urgency drains attraction. Silence slows things down and keeps you centered. In dating, silence creates polarity. When you're calm and measured, she fills the space emotionally. She leans in, she invests, she wonders what you're thinking. Mystery isn't created by playing games, it's created by not overexposing yourself. This habit also applies to conflict. When something triggers you, don't react immediately. A Stoic man observes first. He lets the emotion pass before speaking. That restraint shows strength. Women trust men who don't lose control under pressure. It signals safety and leadership. Silence is not withdrawal. It's not coldness. It's intentional presence. You listen fully. You respond directly. You don't ramble. You don't defend yourself unnecessarily. You say what needs to be said and nothing extra. Practice this daily in conversations with friends, coworkers, and strangers. Pause before answering. Let people finish completely. Get comfortable with gaps. Over time, your nervous system settles. Your voice slows. Your words gain weight. In attraction, the man who can be silent without anxiety is rare. Most men fear being forgotten. The confident man knows his presence lingers even when he says nothing. When you master controlled silence, you stop chasing attention. Attention starts finding you. 2. Emotional self mastery. If you want to become truly attractive, you must become predictable to yourself before you try to be appealing to anyone else. Emotional self mastery is the habit that separates men who react from men who lead. Most men let their emotions drive their behavior. Excitement makes them rush. Insecurity makes them seek reassurance. Frustration makes them lash out or withdraw. Women feel this instability quickly. It creates tension, not desire. A man with emotional self mastery feels everything, but he is not ruled by it. He notices his reactions without acting on them immediately. That inner pause is power. It allows him to choose his response instead of being dragged by impulse. In dating, this shows up everywhere. When a text reply is delayed, he doesn't spiral. When plans change, he doesn't complain or guilt. When attraction feels uncertain, he stays grounded. That steadiness communicates maturity and strength. Stoicism teaches control over internal states. You can't control how someone feels about you. You can control how you show up. When you stay calm under emotional pressure, you signal that your life is solid. Women are drawn to men whose emotions are regulated, not suppressed, but directed. This habit also sharpens your decision making. You stop saying yes out of fear. You stop chasing what feels familiar but drains you. You move with intention. That clarity shows in how you speak, how you set boundaries, and how you walk away when something doesn't align. Emotional self-mastery also prevents overinvestment. Many men give too much too soon because they confuse intensity with connection. A grounded man lets things unfold naturally. He doesn't rush intimacy, he allows interest to grow over time. In moments of disagreement, this habit becomes visible. You don't raise your voice, you don't attack. You listen, respond clearly, and stay composed. Women feel safe around men who can handle disagreement without collapsing or exploding. Developing this habit requires daily discipline. Notice your triggers. Watch how your body reacts. Slow your breathing when emotions spike. Give yourself space before responding. Over time, your baseline becomes calmer. This doesn't make you distant, it makes you reliable. Women don't want emotional chaos. They want consistency. They want a man who can be present without being volatile. When you master your emotions, you stop seeking control over others. You gain control over yourself, and that is deeply attractive. 3. Purposeful direction. A man without direction feels light. He drifts, adjusts, and reshapes himself based on who is in front of him. Women sense this immediately. Purposeful direction is the habit that gives your presence weight and makes attraction grow without effort. Direction doesn't mean having every detail figured out. It means your life is moving somewhere that matters to you. You wake up with intention. You invest your energy into something larger than attention or approval. That internal alignment shows in how you carry yourself. Men who lack direction often center their world around dating. They rearrange schedules, priorities, and values to keep someone interested. That behavior drains attraction fast. A man with purpose does not abandon his path. He invites someone into a life that already has momentum. When you speak about your work, your goals, or what you're building, do it calmly and briefly. No selling, no proving, just clarity. Women are drawn to men who are progressing steadily, not performing ambition for validation. Stoic discipline emphasizes commitment to meaningful effort. You control your actions. You show up consistently. You don't seek shortcuts. This discipline sharpens your character. Character creates attraction that lasts beyond first impressions. Purposeful direction also shapes how you handle time. You don't overextend. You don't say yes to everything. You respect your schedule. When you plan dates or interactions, they are intentional. That decisiveness feels reassuring and attractive. This habit also strengthens boundaries. When your life has structure, you don't tolerate confusion, disrespect, or emotional chaos. You address issues directly or step away. Women respect men who protect their direction. Purpose shows in small details. Your posture, your pace, your voice. You move as if you know where you're going. That certainty creates a sense of leadership. Leadership is not dominance, it's calm confidence rooted in self respect. You don't need to explain your worth. Your direction demonstrates it. Men who are aligned with their purpose don't seek constant reassurance. They enjoy connection without making it their identity. To build this habit, commit daily to one meaningful task. Progress slowly and consistently. Remove distractions that pull you away from your values. Over time, your life gains structure. That structure stabilizes your emotions and sharpens your focus. When a woman enters your life, she feels that stability. She feels invited, not responsible. She feels that you're not lost or waiting for direction from her. Purposeful direction makes you grounded. Grounded men are rare, and rarity is attractive. 4. Selective investment attraction shifts the moment a man learns where to place his energy. Selective investment is the habit that prevents you from overgiving, overchasing, and overexplaining. It keeps your value intact because your attention is no longer available to everyone. Most men invest emotionally too early. They give time, validation, and effort before it's earned. Women don't feel chosen in that dynamic. They feel overwhelmed or pressured. Selective investment creates balance. It allows interest to grow naturally. A stoic man observes before committing. He watches consistency, behavior, and effort. He doesn't rush to attach meaning to early excitement. He lets patterns reveal themselves. That patience communicates confidence. In dating, this means matching energy without keeping score. If she engages, you engage. If she pulls back, you don't chase. You stay steady. This calm mirroring prevents imbalance and preserves attraction. Selective investment also protects your emotional health. When you invest wisely, rejection doesn't destabilize you. You understand that interest must be mutual. You don't take distance personally. That emotional independence is attractive. This habit shows up in communication. You don't text constantly. You don't flood conversations. You respond thoughtfully and at your own pace. Your life continues moving regardless of attention. That autonomy creates intrigue. It also applies to how much you reveal. You don't unload your past, your struggles, or your plans all at once. You let trust build gradually. Depth feels meaningful when it's earned, not rushed. Selective investment is not indifference. You are present and engaged when you choose to be. The difference is intention. You give from stability, not from fear of losing someone. Men who lack this habit often confuse effort with value. They believe more giving creates more attraction. In reality, unearned effort lowers perceived value. Attraction grows when both sides invest willingly. This habit strengthens boundaries. You don't tolerate inconsistent behavior. You don't negotiate your standards. You address issues calmly or step back. That self-respect communicates strength. Practice selective investment daily. Notice where your energy goes. Pull it back from situations that drain you. Invest in people who show reciprocity. Over time, your attention becomes valuable because it's not automatic. Women are drawn to men who choose carefully. It makes them feel seen and respected. It also keeps desire alive because interest unfolds gradually. Selective investment keeps you centered. When you give, it's meaningful. When you step back, it's peaceful. 5. Calm physical presence. Before you say a word, your body speaks for you. Calm physical presence is one of the most overlooked habits in attraction, yet it's one of the strongest. Women feel it instantly. It's the difference between a man who enters a room quietly grounded and one who arrives carrying tension. A calm presence starts with how you move. Slow, deliberate movements communicate control. Rushed gestures signal anxiety. When you sit, you settle fully. When you stand tall without stiffness. Nothing is forced, nothing is hurried. Your breathing matters more than you think. Shallow, fast breathing keeps your nervous system on edge. Deep, steady breathing grounds you. A grounded man feels safe to be around. Safety creates attraction that lasts. Eye contact is another layer of this habit. You don't stare, you don't avoid. You meet her eyes comfortably and look away. Naturally, that balance communicates confidence without pressure. It shows you're present, not needy. Your voice reflects your internal state. Calm men speak slower. Their tone is even. They don't rush to fill silence. They don't raise their voice to command attention. Women lean in because calm energy draws people closer. Stoicism emphasizes control over the body as well as the mind. When your physical state is regulated, your emotions follow. You don't fidget. You don't overreact. You stay composed even when the situation shifts. In dating, this habit changes how interactions feel. When you're calm, she relaxes. When she relaxes, connection deepens. You don't need to impress. Your presence does the work. This also applies to touch when appropriate. Your movements are slow and intentional. No grabbing, no hesitation. Calm confidence communicates clarity and respect. Men who lack calm presence often compensate with words, jokes, or constant movement. That energy feels scattered. Calm presence feels centered. You can build this habit daily. Slow down your movements, practice steady breathing, reduce unnecessary gestures, become aware of how your body reacts under pressure. When you embody calm, you stand out naturally. In a world full of tension, calm is magnetic. 6. Personal standards. Attraction rises when a man knows what he accepts and what he doesn't. Personal standards are not rules you announce. They are behaviors you live by. Women notice them quickly, even when nothing is said. Men without standards adapt themselves to whoever they're with. They tolerate inconsistency, mixed signals, and disrespect because they fear losing connection. That fear shows it weakens attraction. A man with standards moves differently. He doesn't chase what doesn't align. Your standards begin with how you treat yourself. You respect your time. You take care of your body. You keep your word. When you do these things consistently, others feel it. Respect becomes the baseline. In dating, personal standards show up in small moments. If communication becomes unclear, you address it calmly. If effort fades, you don't overcompensate. You step back. That self-respect communicates confidence. Stoicism teaches clarity of values. You decide what matters. You don't bend those values to avoid discomfort. When your actions align with your values, your presence becomes solid. Women are drawn to men who are internally aligned. Standards also protect your emotional space. You don't entertain drama. You don't argue endlessly. You choose peace over proving a point. That calm authority feels mature and attractive. Men often confuse standards with rigidity. True standards are calm and flexible, not controlling. You're open, but not desperate. You listen, but you don't abandon yourself. This habit also shapes your choices. You choose partners who are consistent, respectful, and emotionally stable. You don't chase potential. You respond to reality. That discernment sets you apart. When a woman senses your standards, she feels chosen, not settled for. She knows your interest is intentional. That awareness deepens attraction. Building standards requires honesty. Notice what drains you. Notice what feels misaligned. Adjust your boundaries accordingly. Over time, your standards become clear through action. Personal standards give you gravity. Gravity pulls without effort. 7. Mastery of presence. The last habit, and perhaps the most powerful, is mastery of presence. This isn't about being flashy or saying the right things. It's about being fully here, body, mind, and energy in every moment. Women notice presence before words even land. It's magnetic. Most men are physically present, but mentally elsewhere. Their thoughts drift to work, past mistakes, or social comparisons. That absence creates tension, uncertainty, and disengagement. A man who masters presence carries no such noise. He listens fully, observes carefully, and moves with awareness. That focus communicates value without explanation. Presence starts internally. Your mind must settle so your energy doesn't leak. Daily practices like meditation, mindful breathing, or even simple pauses before reacting build this skill. A calm mind creates a strong aura. You don't overreact, you don't fidget, you simply are. And that being is magnetic. In social interactions, presence shows in subtle ways. Eye contact is steady but natural. You don't stare, but you don't dart away. Your posture is grounded. Your gestures are deliberate. Even when silent, your energy communicates attentiveness and self-assuredness. Women respond instinctively to these cues. Presence also applies to emotional alignment. You are aware of your feelings without letting them dominate your actions. If she expresses excitement, curiosity, or even frustration, you observe, mirror appropriately and stay grounded. This allows her to feel safe, understood, and drawn in simultaneously. Another part of mastering presence is being comfortable with the environment. You don't need to control everything around you. You adapt while staying true to yourself. This calm adaptability is rare and deeply attractive. It conveys leadership without force, confidence without arrogance. Physical presence ties closely to energy. Your energy should feel deliberate, not scattered. Avoid rushing through interactions. Speak slowly and clearly when you do talk. Move intentionally. Women feel the difference between a man whose energy is chaotic and one whose energy is aligned. The aligned energy is magnetic. Finally, mastery of presence elevates all other habits. Silence, emotional control, purposeful direction, selective investment, calm energy, and personal standards are amplified when a man is fully present. Presence makes these habits feel natural rather than forced. Practice presence daily. Focus on one interaction per day where you give full attention without distraction. Observe how your awareness shifts the dynamic. Over time, it becomes second nature. Mastery of presence isn't learned in a day. It's cultivated in small, consistent moments. But when practiced, it transforms how people experience you. Women are drawn to men who command space without demanding it, who lead without controlling, and who exist fully without apology. When combined with the other 6 habits, presence completes the foundation of a man who is not just attractive, but irresistible. Attraction isn't about chasing, impressing, or performing. It's about who you are and how you show up. The 7 habits, controlled silence, emotional self-mastery, purposeful direction, selective investment, calm physical presence, personal standards, and mastery of presence, create a man who is steady, confident, and magnetic. Women sense that strength instinctively. These habits are not tricks. They are ways of living that build respect, curiosity, and desire naturally. Commit to them daily, refine them patiently, and watch how your presence alone draws people in. Be consistent, be grounded,